Overcoming negative self-talk as a teenager. I'm so excited, to share my thoughts, my ideas on this topic, especially because this is one habit that me myself, I've encountered as a teenager, and it is something that it's very very difficult to break if you're not very 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 careful with it. And I'm so happy to share my thoughts on this. Now, first we need to understand what is meant by negative self-talk. You see, negative self-talk, these are harsh words, ill feeling that comes, either from criticisms, it can also come from, rejection from friends, or things that we have heard and internalized into our body, into our systems over time. Negative self-talk can also come from, anxiety or depression. This habit is one very 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 dangerous and self-degrading habit that can hinder our growth and our prosperity as an individual if not properly tackled. So I'm going to share with you 5 strategies that you can use to overcome negative self-talk. Now, number 1 of the strategy is, first you need to identify the negative self-talk. You see, many times we, or teenagers in general, you see, this is common to everybody. It might not be particular to teenager, but I'm just using teenager, as a point of reference. You see, teenagers especially, don't know how to decipher a negative from a positive self-talk. So you need to be able to properly identify that, okay, is this I'm hearing a positive self-talk or a negative self-talk? First of all, you need to first identify it. Now, if you have identified it, now what you need to do again is you need to challenge that negative self-talk. So if you have identified that, okay, this I am hearing is a negative self-talk, now the second thing you need to do now is you need to challenge the negative self-talk. That is, what is this I am hearing? Is what I'm hearing something that would possibly hinder me from achieving my goal or from becoming who I am? So you need to challenge this negative. There's a difference between identifying and challenging. Identifying is you just taking note that, okay, this is what this thing is. Now, if you have identified it, now you now need to challenge it, that, okay, is this a negative self-talk, or is this just what I have just heard and internalized over time? Understand? So you need to be able to properly decipher between these two mechanisms. So after you have challenged this negative self-talk, now you now need to replace that negative self-talk with a positive self-talk. You see, this year is, can be very difficult at times, especially if you have internalized this thing over a long period of time, or if that person has encountered with this kind of talk over a long period of time. Is a habit that's very very difficult to break or to practice. So you need to change this negative self-talk to a positive self-talk. That is, if someone is telling you that, or if you're perceiving that, okay, am I good enough? That is a negative self-talk. Or you saying, I am not good enough for this thing, that is a negative self-talk. So you need to be able to change that talk from I am not good enough for this thing to I am good enough for this thing. You see, the moment you are able to practice and effectively change this talk from the negative to the positive self-talk, there is this natural ambience and this natural feeling that comes with it. You understand? So the 4th step now is what you must seek help. You see, majority or many a times, teenagers, are afraid to talk to people. You see, you need to learn how to talk to people. People are actually willing to listen. You might think people don't care, have this I don't care attitude, but you are just using, a single strata to judge the whole, population. You can't just admit like that, okay, that is how everybody is based on what you see with just a single person. People are willing to listen. So you need to talk to people, relate to people, communicate to people. People are willing to give you self-advice. They can even advise you. As often said by one of my favorite, comedians of all time, he said, advice is the only thing that people give freely and they don't use. You understand? So people are willing to advise you. They will give you advice. They will humbly give you, I mean the compassionate ones, the ones that are empathetic. Speak to them. They will give you advice on how to overcome these troubles that you might be facing. And the fifth one is you need to practice self-compassion. See, I know, you've been too hard on yourself, but I want you to understand that, you see, people are not as perfect as you think. Even the majority of those that you feel that, oh God, this woman, oh this guy is so perfect, look at this, look at that, they are not as perfect as you think, because by nature everyone is flawed. There is no perfect human being anywhere. So you just need to take it easy on yourself. You need to practice self-compassion. Take it easy on yourself. It's okay to have self-doubt once in a while, but I need you to snap out of it quickly, and recuperate from any self-doubt or any, self-degrading thoughts you might be experiencing. If you enjoyed this video up to this moment, which I know you do, hit the subscribe button, the like button, and turn on post notifications. Thank you very, very much, and see you in the next video.